going to be checking the YouTubes. Which I am seeing live Q&A. Excellent.
Should we start letting more people in here?
Oh, sure. Let's do it. And let's check good old Facebook.
We do have another Northeast Ohio in, so the baseball game has not in. Well, I don't think Kathy's watching. I don't think she cares.
Football players.
No, that's baseball.
I'm sorry.
Football's archaic.
Oh my God, don't ask me about the sport ball. I don't know so much about these things.
Baseball's
there we are. Okay. Live and kicking. We are. That said, just being live on the Facebook and the YouTube is mostly for the purposes of those who might want to watch later. So really, we're not going to be able to kind of really closely monitor questions that come through out there. So I'm going to say if you are watching on Facebook or YouTube that it would, and you have some pressing questions that you would love to get answered, maybe listen through and see if we don't actually address it. But otherwise, you can go to farmfolk.org and find the, well, no, you can't, because I didn't actually post this to the website. So I'll post it out there. I'll post the link out there. Anyway, hi, everybody. This was a last minute decision to do this Q&A tonight, because as Charlie and I were looking at our mutual schedules, it seemed to be the only night that both of us were going to be available and not kind of going crazy. And we thought sooner was better than later to at least start trying to put some content out there that familiarized all of those who did not participate in the virtual conference last fall, and so therefore have never used the Whova app. And also we're going to take a fun look at the phone app, because that's going to be a bigger piece of us today. So between Charlie and I, will keep an eye on the waiting room. You want to say hi, Charlie?
Hi, Charlie.
We have such a great act, don't we?
Yeah.
It's getting, yeah, we should do this more often. Ladies and gentlemen, those of you, those of you who don't know, I am Annie Capps. I am the conference director for your Folk Alliance Region Midwest gathering that will be taking place just 8 days from now. Less for me. I'm going to be leaving a week from today to park myself over there at the hotel in Lisle and start dotting I's and crossing T's and making signs and drinking a lot of wine. I'm sorry, I didn't say that. Just lie about that.
Crossing I's, not dotting. Crossing I's.
Crossing I's and dotting my T's. Thank you, Chuck Fury, for that very, very astute and wise observation of what I will be doing. Thank you. So yeah, we're in a Zoom room for those of you who are out again on the Facebook Live or YouTube. And if you want to join us in here, give me a minute and I'll post the registration link out there. So, but those of you who are here, thank you for coming. And Charlie, you want to say hi? Introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Charlie, Charlie Mossbrook. I'm here in Cleveland. I'm the board president of Folk Alliance Region Midwest. I think most of you know that. I recognize a good number of people in the room here. I feel like we all have a little bit of experience with this app, or at least most of us do. It's a little refresher, probably more so that I wonder if everybody can put anybody who wasn't at the virtual last year, if they can just put a thumbs up real quickly.
I think I was.
I feel like you were there, Trent.
I think I was, yeah. Who knows?
Oh, you were.
Yeah,
you
I
were
was.
part of a panel or two, so I'm pretty sure you were.
Yeah, I was. I guess so. Yeah.
All right, I'm posting.
It's just all about the app right now.
Mostly, but it's
Yeah.
also, but that said, we're here to answer any of your questions. And what we're going to do is Charlie and I are probably mostly me, are going to walk through the app, some basics of the app, both the website, the web version and the mobile. I have learned a fancy trick on how to share my phone to the Zoom room. So I'll be able to actually walk through some of the things because most of us are going to be using, at least at the conference, we're going to be using the app on our phones. We're not going to be carrying around desktops with us. And so that will be the really awesome advantage of this. So please, for right now, hold on to your questions. Chances are I may answer it, and if I don't, we'll have a big Q&A session at the end. This part shouldn't take too long. So if you're not, let's just have everybody who is not talking at the moment muted, just in case. I think we've got the spotlight going. So
To include me.
you're probably fine. Okay, but you're in charge of the waiting room from this moment on. So
I will mute while that.
Yeah.
Melissa let us know she was not at the conference.
you can also, you guys, put your questions in the chat if you want, if you prefer. So if you don't mind, I'm going to dive right in. And the first thing I'm going to do is show you just our website. This is what I've taken to doing. If you haven't been to farmfolk.org yet, well, I hope you will go there. But hang loose. Everybody should be seeing right now the homepage of our website. We're constantly making little edits to this, but the important things are right up here at the top menu. You'll see 2022 Gathering Overview. If you click right on that, it'll take you to the page. And also conference info. That will basically take you to the same page. But I'm going to go back to the home page and tell you that right here, right under the banner, you see the registration button and the conference app login. If you don't have an account yet, if you've never logged in and you click this button, you will be prompted, you will most likely be taken to a page that looks like this. And it says sign in using your Whova account. Now, if you're not sure whether you have a Whova account, chances are you don't. But if you participated in last year's gathering and your email you don't have 25 different emails that you've changed, because there does seem to be a recurring issue where people used a different email for last year's conference, or they have two different emails and they're not sure which one they used. So in this case, I'm using my personal account. I already have one, but if you don't, underneath the button it says don't have an account, sign up here. And if you go to sign up for a new account, it's going to give you this screen. And if you happen to enter an email address that they have on file, then you know you did have an account, and you can go back to sign in here and click forgot password, and you should be able to reset it. Now, hopefully all of that goes smoothly for most of you. There have been a couple of hiccups along the way, and all I can tell you is if it's during the daytime hours, I'm happy to get on a Zoom call and walk you through any kind of issues you might be having. And if I can't help you, Whova support is pretty great. So make sure you do that. So let's log in. You know what I also will say, you guys, I really don't mind if you raise your hand, if like something I'm talking about prompts a question right away, go ahead and raise your hand. You don't have to wait to the end. So here we are logging in, and of course they give you little tips and whatnots, and you can dismiss that if you like. But this is where you'll land, and this is the desktop app. So between now and the conference, this is a great way to see something that's on a big screen and kind of poke around and see what's happening and engage with people and update your profile top, I think, personally. And then once you get to the conference, you'll be probably on the phone more often. But anyways, you'll see this little welcome page, which may or may not be changing over the course of the week, but please read through this. It gives you a little bit of information. It's kind of also our welcome that we put in the program. So you'll see that as well. But over here on the left-hand side, Home, agenda, attendees, this menu. The things you're going to be, paying the most attention to are all of these things. Home is your landing page. Agenda is all the content that's happening. We'll go to each one of these. Attendees, this is everybody who's there. You see this number 147? That number is not how many attendees. That's how many people have been added since the last time I logged into my personal account. So this little red number is only going to show you the latest, like the additions since the last time you were in there. So same with community. There's been 69 new posts or new things that happen in the community, which takes me to the right-hand side. This activity feed shows all kinds of stuff that's been going on. So people have already been logging in and introducing themselves and adding questions, adding topics of conversation. Feel free to engage with those. That's a super fun way to get to know people. Start your own conversations. And so that's super fun. And that all you will find under community as well. And then messages. This is people that are directly messaging you. It could be the organizers, it could be Whova, it could be anybody. So I'm not going to click on these just yet, because I also want to direct your attention over to the upper right-hand corner of the app. You'll see my name and my photo that's in there currently. This is how you're going to update your profile. So those of you who maybe already had a profile in there might want to change some of the stuff that automatically populates. But click on your the My Profile button, and here's where you can edit pretty much everything that they allow you to put, any of your affiliations, your band, add as many affiliations as you want. It will connect you. As you see it, the little pop-ups are showing. I think you can modify those. I don't have any education. I'm just winging it. I will tell you that one thing that we cover in one of our other tutorials is that I learned, because your contact information, your email, phone number, none of that stuff is available through the app directly unless somebody specifically asks you for it from within the app. If you are comfortable sharing your email address, you can do that right here in your bio. This is what we recommended people do. You'll notice it's just one big cluster paragraph, but when you view it, it's not. So just so you know, when you go into edit, you can see that there's all these paragraphs in there. And when I looked at it on screen, it was fine. Those paragraphs are showing, but for some reason in that window, it doesn't look that way. And no, the tips was probably just me putting in an example. You do not have to tip me, but if you want to, you feel free. Fine, I'll take it. I'll take your money. Personal web pages. This is where, you add your social medias as well. Okay, so, oops, didn't mean to do that. Hopefully that's as clear as mud, and play around. I don't think you can really hurt anything. But as I said, anything that you don't see that's in that list sort of as a default thing you can add, put it in your bio. Add stuff in your bio. People will hopefully read it. Okay, so back to home. Agenda. Again, I'm going to do this really quickly. We've got 4 days of agenda. You can click through each day, see what's happening, scroll through. We are still updating some information, but a lot of the content is there. Private showcase information, I don't think, is detailed out quite yet. But we're going to start adding more information so that when you actually click on here, you'll see what, there'll be instructions on how to sign up for the open mic. This little bugger gives you an expanded, so you can keep the agenda open while you're looking. If you want to do the open mic, if you just want to click like, great. If you want to add this to your agenda, you can. This little pop-up shows up on your desktop screen, so you can also add it to your Google Calendar if you would like. So now when you go look at the agenda, you will see, come back, please. You have full agenda and you have my agenda. And so as you start adding things, this is where you can see, what you are focusing on. Speakers. All of this is pretty self-explanatory, but everybody who is a speaker in any capacity throughout the weekend, and speakers, these are people who are part of panels, any number of things. You can poke through here, and many of them have updated their profiles, and my mouse isn't scrolling. So, and just so you know, those of you who haven't yet updated your profiles, wouldn't you much prefer to look at a photo? So hopefully this will encourage you to do that. Attendees, same thing. Here you've got all the attendees, their various categories. We did a much better job of mapping those out for you. Recommended is, no, I don't really know what that is. I think this is like it focuses on you and some interests that you have, and then we'll recommend people with like-minded stuff. But we're all recommended. Everybody here is recommended. Bookmarks, that's for you to make bookmarks. And then here's your categories. So if you're looking for, live music presenters, here's 67 people who represent a venue of some sort, which is pretty awesome. And back to categories, the speakers, artists, graphic designer, folk DJs, journalists, all kinds of really cool, awesome stuff. So fun. Community, crazy area. The first thing it does is say introduce yourself, throw an icebreaker out there. You can do it if you want, you do not have to. I want to focus your attention on the organizer announcements, because this is where we're going to put important stuff. Right now there's two things in here, welcome to the app and the downloadable Excel spreadsheet with our attendees. So this is a good space to live in. And messages, these are direct messages to you personally, and I haven't gotten any messages since October of 2021. So, been logged in. Okay, any questions about the desktop app so far? Yes, I went through that very quickly, but I'm hoping that it's all pretty user-friendly. So I am hoping that was clear. I don't see any questions. I don't see any hand raised. Yes. All right. So I am going to stop the share because we're going to do the fun part now, which is me sharing my iPhone. I just learned how to do this. Watch, it won't work now that we're streaming. So iPhone via AirPlay. There we go. Any second now. Looky, my phone. You got, oh, Tret, I'm sending this to you to paint. These are my babies. That's Lola and Monk. Uh-oh, come back. And we're going to go to the app. Okay, how fun is this? Oh, come back. This is where you're going to be spending all your time over the weekend, most likely, is staring at this little screen. Hopefully not. But this is going to be the way that you're going to, avoid having to carry on a program or do whatever. So, landing page. Again, I'm going to direct your attention to the upper left corner of this screen, because this is where from your phone you got setting options, and where you can from your phone edit your profile, right? So everything that you didn't have a chance to do on your desktop, you'll be able to do right here as well if you're more comfortable here. There's something about the QR code. I think we're going to wait because there's a way to check in with your phone that we haven't sorted out yet. Settings is something I want to point out to you right now too, because if you're really annoyed by a lot of pop-ups, you can change your notification settings here. So I really want you guys to know about this. Keep organizer announcements on, and then you can decide if you want to be notified every time something happens in the community or not. Agenda updates I would recommend, but as you can see, there's other things. So that's always good to know. Managing your account and your password is also in here. And that was fairly well hidden for me. So in case you weren't sure, again, you click your name and then you click on settings. And editing your profile is tucked away right there under your name. On the app, it's really similar. Down at the bottom of the screen, you'll see the agenda. Very much the same kinds of things. You can click to add this, and this, once you've added something to your agenda for the very first time, it's going to ask you this. Do you want a reminder? Do you want, and you can select one and remember my choice. So in my case, right now, I don't want a reminder, but I don't necessarily not want a reminder to everything else. But, so you have that option every time, or you can just set it to remember 10 minutes every time. That's up to you. Right here, if we look down below registration open, you'll see workshop panel and 3 subsessions. So if you click on that, you'll see each one of the individual workshops and panels. One of the things that's really, really cool here, and I think you probably have this on the desktop as well, but it wasn't as, wasn't as used, but you have this little thing right above the list that says take notes. So you could be in a panel and be typing little notes right here about this panel. This panel is awesome. Or just, whatever. Save, and now all notes can be found in the sidebar menu, so that it's going to tell you, which I was going to tell you, so it just told you, so I don't have to tell you. But just so you know, click on the sidebar, and you've got My Notes, so you'll see. So that's pretty cool. Save paper, save a tree. But you can also add those individual, I like this. If you click on a session, no reminder, if you click on, forgive me, I'm sorry. Ignore that points thing. Sorry, I wanted to click on this. If you click on this, now you can add this one to your, adding a specific panel to your agenda. Sorry, okay. Not now. Questions. The questions popped up. So if a workshop host, leader, panelist has entered any questions, those will pop up in here as well. Comments, all kinds of cool stuff. That's pretty great, right? Everybody understand? The DJ Showcase, if you click on this, you can, each one of the artists that is performing, you can click there. We've added a brief bio about them, but you can also take personal notes. So those of you who are DJs or venue bookers, or just want to brag on people that you saw, remember how great they were, you can drop those comments in there. Attendees, lovely, yep, great big list of attendees. I'm going to keep picking on Jennifer because she's the first face that you get to see. But again, you can take notes about a specific person, see where they're speaking, read their bio, and this is where you can exchange contact information with that person. Then it's up to them if they want to share it with you or not. Click on meetups, let's meet, message, and you can't see that I'm pointing at this, I just realized, but directly under Jennifer's name, this is where you can bookmark a person, say hi, private message, arrange a meeting, and back. Community board, similar, skip the icebreaker. Organizer announcements, anything that you want to ask us. And if you ask a question in here, the Whova people are also watching it. So if one of us doesn't necessarily know the answer, they will chime in. So you can ask questions about the app in there as well. Because we are far from experts. This is our second go round, and I'm still learning new stuff that I didn't know the last time. But you can add your topic or social group right here at the bottom. You'll see that big blue button. We don't have exhibitors, so that's sort of a non-thing. But if you want to schedule meetups, that's super fun. So let's say there's a handful of you trying to figure out where to go out for dinner if you're not joining us on Saturday night. This is a great way to do that. Okay, is anybody else getting tired of the sound of my own voice? Messages, and again, your messages. So most of this is the same. The thing that I loved the most was the ability to take notes right here, real time. Documents, you'll find the things that we've uploaded in here, or any handouts that speakers have also uploaded. And up here, like your sign in and sign out is also in the settings. So, if you happen to have 2 accounts, or if you're having trouble signing in. Okay. Charlie, how am I doing? That was 25 minutes of babble.
25 minutes of babble. You're doing great. I understand things a little bit better.
Good. I want it to be helpful. You'll see, oh, the displaying in your own time zone. Like right now, this is displaying everything in my time zone. But once you're at the conference, we're going to be in Central Time, which is probably why I so desperately want to use my mouse to click on things on this screen. But I'm going to encourage you all to poke at the photos section, especially with the app. You're going to be taking photos throughout the weekend. I wouldn't suggest we bombard this space, and I think there is a limit to how much space we have. But, you know, if you've taken a pretty awesome photo that you want to share with everybody, this is a really great way to do that. And I would love to have a big photo gallery in there capturing different moments throughout the weekend. This is the first year in a while we have not hired a professional photographer, so we're going to be counting on all the professional photographers with their iPhones. So, session Q&A, you can go look at all our awesome sponsors and who they are. They will be filling out their info as well, but this is important people in our community who've given us money. Don't really know why the Twitter thing is there other than Huva really likes Twitter. So if you're a Twitter person, go for it. And then the guide is also here if you want to poke around at the Huva guide, but it's sort of general and not specific to our conference. The session Q&A is, I think that is, I wouldn't worry about that. I'm pretty sure that was more of a virtual thing, and it's not like you might be able to ask questions in advance of a session. In fact, that's probably exactly what that is. So if you have a question, the speakers will see this in advance. Okay, I like that. There's something new I just learned, because we haven't used that before. So there you go. If you're planning to attend a session, I don't know if I would count on it during the session, because they're probably not looking at their phones, but. Okay.
There are a couple questions on there. I'm sorry.
Oh, good.
Nancy asks, later, can notes be extracted to a document? And I'm assuming, Nancy, that means can notes be extracted from Huva into a document?
Right. Right. Well, that's a very good question. My stuff. Hold on. I'm actually looking at the desktop, Nancy, because, oh, yeah. So there's my notes. Go to session, edit note. I'll have to ask that question. That's a very good question. I don't know the answer. I don't see anything off the top of my head. Yeah, it looks like just looking at it on screen. Okay. Will there be any exhibitors? Actually, Brant, you're all exhibitors. We do not have an exhibit hall at Farm because just our attendance size isn't large enough to warrant a dedicated room, but we provide virtual space. I mean, we could provide free exhibit space for all of our attendees.
Yeah, okay, I just thought I heard you say that, and I just wanted to, get that clarified. And that you have to distinguish between exhibitionists and exhibitors too, right?
For sure, especially when we're talking to you. Just kidding. We're all friends here. I'm glad you're laughing. No, I think what you saw was Exhibitor Showcase. I just tapped on Community, and there's something called Exhibitor Showcase. And this is a feature that Huva offers, and it's probably more of a virtual exhibit, but we have to pay a large sum of money. It's a virtual exhibition. So, yeah. So we're not using that edit feature. So, before I stop sharing my screen, how do you empty the mailbox? Let's see if I can figure that out while we're watching. Look, you hit delete. I don't want to delete my messages, but you can delete them. You can swipe left as you go through. So these are all from last year. I don't want to delete them. It's just they're remembering me from our previous event. But if you don't want to keep those, or if you read a message and you're done with it, just swipe away. So is that what you were asking, Sue?
No, I was asking on the other screen, for the other screen.
On the desktop?
Right,
Okay, let's stop this share.
because I have all last year's there.
Oh, you mean like in the messages over here?
Yeah, the messages. I have
Yeah, it would be nice if you could just delete them all, wouldn't it? That's a good question. Boy, I love that you guys are asking me all these tough questions and I do not know the answer.
I poked around and tried to find it.
Yeah. Okay, let's make a point of asking that question to our Whova people. So we have two questions we need to ask. Downloading notes and emptying the mailbox. Okay, cool. Is that it? Are you guys really you have no other questions about that? I think you're all just so darn smart.
Real quickly, Melissa points out that you can copy and paste from Whova to wherever you want.
Oh, absolutely.
And we had a question this afternoon. Is there a way to go from the Whova app directly into the farm website? That question came up. It had more to do with being able to use the cart, which was a question that popped up in some of our questionnaires. I don't know why somebody need to use the cart other than to make a lovely donation to farm in the middle of the conference, which would be wonderful.
Well, okay, so when you're on the app, you mean on the phone app?
Yeah, I imagine.
Well, I think if we make sure that the website is linked in here as part of I guess that would be a really, really good thing to have, but we don't even have that in the welcome message. We sort of figure you already know where we are. But yeah, I would imagine that any kind of a link that we put in the event description, which if we put our website as part of the description, I can update that. And you'll be able to go right from it. But otherwise, I would imagine you just need to sort of open a new window because the Whova thing is in the app and the website's going to launch in Safari or whatever else you have on your phone as a browser. So yes, you can, but it's not going to be within the Whova app. Our website won't be there. Answer your question?
I think so.
Should we just play with mouse for cats from now on? I'm sorry. Just kidding.
Mouse for cat?
Well, I could share my screen just for entertainment purposes if we're done here. But there's an actual app on my phone that little mice run around and you put it down for the cats and they score big. Does anyone have any other questions? I mean, this is a group of people that are pretty savvy and I think you were all part of the conference. So
Trent may have something.
So I opened the app on my desktop, and how does it open on my phone then? Because it says.
Did you download the actual app on your phone?
Oh, I think I have to reload that. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so how do I do that? I'll figure that out. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, and Whova will keep pestering you. For some reason, they know that you haven't downloaded the app on your phone. And I think part of that is because once you download it, you log in and they go, oh, there's somebody. So I would say more than half of our attendees have not downloaded the phone app yet. So you're not obligated to use this. This is purely a tool of enhancement. If it's overwhelming to you and you don't even want to be bothered, go enjoy the conference, be present. I mean, we really are not trying to encourage you to be staring at your phones all weekend. It's really meant just to be a tool to help you organize your life without having to flip through a bunch of program pages, maybe save some paper and the ways of taking notes. Certainly, it's a great way to connect with people. You can be doing it from your phone in your room. So, I mean, it's like if somebody's up on stage performing, I wouldn't want you to necessarily be staring at your phone trying to find their profile and take notes during their performance. Like, I know that we are all, more thoughtful than that. So just to be clear, right? We're not trying to encourage that.
And there's a hard copy program, I think is the
Indeed.
underlying. What's that?
I said indeed.
Indeed.
There may not be, it's not like there are things that have been added since the program had to get into print. So your most accurate like workshop times and even potentially performance lane schedules might change. That's going to be in the app. That's going to be more updated that way. So that's the other nice thing about the app is that we can announce changes. You'll get a notification on your phone and you'll know when things are moving, which hopefully won't be a lot of anything. So, yeah.
Andy, what day are you coming over here?
I'm not telling. Just kidding. I'm coming over on Tuesday night to start my hibernation for, 12 hours before we're going to be packing tote bags on Wednesday night. So if anyone is interested in joining us in the tote bag stuffing area, which is yet to be determined, we would welcome you out. There's still a chance we may do something on Wednesday night. We just haven't decided yet. But maybe there'll be a song circle.
I
Wouldn't that be
imagine there'll
fun?
be wine.
Well, that's a given.
Chocolate? Will there be chocolate?
Chocolate.
Oh yeah. We should work on that part. Chocolate and wine. How do we know how well Wi-Fi works at the hotel? Well, I have stayed at the hotel on a couple of occasions, and I have used the Wi-Fi, and it worked quite well. We are not investing in any hardwire infrastructure because we're not live streaming anything. I don't necessarily recommend people try to live stream because I don't think it's going to be effective. But as far as your own kind of bandwidth to do emails and
I was able to upload a YouTube video from that hotel in 2017. Here's Hosa.
I was there this
Or
spring.
not 17, 2020.
I was there this spring, and the internet was fine.
yeah, their Wi-Fi is pretty good. So,
Okay, thanks. I just meant really like to use the app.
Oh,
If
yeah,
we're-
you
if
shouldn't
the
have any
app is
problem.
on our phone, is that going to be an issue? Because I've been places where Wi-Fi disappears in certain conference rooms of hotels and whatnot. So
yeah. Oh, for sure. Well, we're fingers crossed.
Okay.
This is seriously, this is our first time using the app for the live in-person thing. We just felt like we just loved it so much with the virtual, and there was so much about that kind of social and community networking that could be done in advance of the conference. And we thought, why not? They gave us a really good deal. So this is a trial thing. Who knows? They may not bother with it. Well, I can't speak to anything that's going to happen after this year, can I? Oops, sorry.
I have
Well-
a question.
What's your question, Kathy?
I was trying to download the Hoover app, and my phone is telling me that at 97% is downloaded, and then I've got the option to open it, but I don't know why it stopped at 97%. And
Just open it; it'll be fine.
okay,
Yeah, I'm sorry, Kathy. That sounds like potentially
It says open.
if it says open, it should be ready to go. Yeah.
yeah, the open button was not active. I had to hit cancel, and now I'll just go through it again. It's fine, no problem.
We're excited about the app. And again, I'm just going to say if the app fails on you, it's not going to ruin your conference experience. I promise you. You will still have all of that FaceTime with people and, old school style connecting, which again, we encourage. We are absolutely not dependent on the app. Right. So we just love it. It's been fun. And it was certainly helpful, I thought, from the planning perspective, for anyone who's interested in that side of things. It helped us organize. It's cool. So, okay, well, does anyone have any non-app related questions or comments before we bid you a farewell and all
Do you
this
know what
talk?
time we can actually check in? Is it 3:00 to the hotel?
You can check in to the hotel. The actual time of check-in for your rooms, probably 3:00. They may be ready sooner.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I have
If
a
it's
3
too
o'clock.
full, yeah.
So I was just curious, but yeah, that's standard. So okay.
Yeah, but we can register. You can register. The registration will be open at noon on Thursday.
And is there a place then if I show up early because I have a 3 o'clock panel that I can put my stuff?
Yeah,
Is that just like the instrument room or whatever you guys have?
yeah, for sure. Yeah, we've got an instrument check. There's a really good map in the program, and then and I think once you sort of learn your way around this space, we're all going to be learning it ourselves. I've had to walk this space multiple times, and it's all fairly well compact. It's just you got to just make sure it's like a horseshoe. So it doesn't go all the way around. So you go all the way around to one end, and to get back to where you started, you can't keep going. You have to go back, which would take an average human couple of minutes. So everything is pretty close together, unless you stop and talk to 20 people along the way, which is probably likely and highly encouraged.
I'll be giving a little accessibility tour for those on
Yes.
wheelchairs or mobility.
Yeah, Charlie, we need to put that in the app for sure.
Yeah.
Brant Miller, I see your hand up.
That's
Nancy,
me.
I think also.
That's me. I can't lower it now. It keeps moving on me. Okay. What about getting from the airport? What do you suggest from Chicago there to the hotel?
If you which airport are you coming into?
I guess it's. Geez,
I would think honestly, Uber is going to probably be your easiest. Your least expensive is going to be to catch take the blue line, and say if you're coming into O'Hare, you would take the train into downtown Chicago, and then you want to go to Union Station, where you can catch a Metro train out to Lyle. There's a stop directly on Lyle, and then either Uber from there, or make a phone call to any of your friends amongst us.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if you were gonna put something on the listserv, if people are willing to give rides from the airports.
Yep. We actually do have a few people who are going to need rides, and we already know this, and whether or not we just, try to coordinate as much as possible so that we're not, because the airport's
someone in the community section was posting about that they're driving from somewhere to the conference and they have room for 3 people. And so, I mean, that might be a place for such a thing.
Yeah, I mean, I drive right by over there.
No, I'm just curious, does the hotel not have a shuttle? Because
They
taking
don't.
an L downtown
That's
and back
nuts.
out, oh my God, you're talking about like a 3-hour commitment.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend that personally, having taken the L from
No,
O'Hare
just
to get down.
Taking an Uber is the best thing you can do, probably.
Well, why don't you first see if you can get a ride?
If you, yeah,
Yeah. I think we're going to have to do some, and we are talking to people right now. Smitty and I are kind of on the transportation committee. We are wide open. We're looking for people who are willing. And in some cases, it may not be driving all the way to the airport. But yeah, it is unfortunate, and but I can also understand this hotel is far enough away from the airports that
right.
I think it would be pretty untenable for them to run a shuttle. So at least a free one. They have a shuttle for a 5-mile radius around the hotel. So yeah, we're going to do whatever we can to make anybody who is flying's life easier, if we can assist. We don't know the Chicago. Sue, you were talking about the L, weren't you, at one point? Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah, I said
Registrar
that
Extraordinaire
the
Sue
problem with the L is it goes into the city. And we were talking about the Metro, and if the Metro does not, to my knowledge, run to O'Hare. So that's when Charlie was saying you'd have to go into the city and then from there catch the train and blah blah blah. It's great if you're going into the city. The L is very convenient, but not to Lyle or anything like that.
I think that's your most economical option. And the best option is probably the Uber. Well, the best option is to find a friend in the
Right.
community.
I mean, there's a lot of us who are north. I think that easy for at least O'Hare. I don't know about Midway.
Okay, I think that the trick here is going to be to create a topic in the community board of the app that says, share your flight info, ride info, and if we start collecting that over the course of the next week,
Annie, didn't
and
you
we can
say
start
that
doing
there was already a topic in the Hoover app about that?
I thought there was.
Under community, I think you said.
Yep. And you can tag and follow a topic pretty well. So, let's see. Travel
I didn't see
to
one
from
specifically
Lyle.
for the- Yeah, I didn't see one specifically for the airport, but I saw someone coming from Ann Arbor offering rides. So
Yeah, that was Annie Bacon. She's so I did, the good news is I do know somebody who wants a ride from Ann Arbor. So that was really good that she posted that. So but that's just Annie's topic. She's saying travel to from Lyle. We can use that topic to
Yes.
add other ride shares. So I'm gonna do that. Thanks,
Yeah,
Annie.
that's a great idea because you
I
can.
want to mention whoever's offering their car, because for O'Hare, they're going to have to pay tolls. I'm looking at the Metro map, and it doesn't look any more efficient than taking the L, and it's a lot. I think it's more expensive. But
Well, the tolls aren't that much. There'd just be 2.
Yeah.
unless you have an iPass, I think it'd be like $6 to $10, which may not be much.
You got the one by O'Hare, and then I don't think there's more than 2. I don't think it's $10. I don't know. I have the iPass.
The nice thing about the iPass is you don't know how much it is. You just fly through. You
Right.
fly through it. Feels
That's
like
the
it's
nice
free.
Until you get the bill.
You don't get a
They
bill.
don't give you a
You don't
bill.
get a
They
bill,
just
you get-
automatically
you put money
refresh
on
your
It just
iPads.
replenishes. It just
Oh, no,
replenishes.
yeah, I get a notification every $40. Yeah, I know. It's a bill. It's a bill.
Guys, sorry. One other thing.
It's cheaper than an Uber.
This is getting fun. I feel like we should have your faces on the screens. We're having a little bit of a chat. This, I think at this point, maybe the live stream has served its purpose. And so I'm going to disconnect the live stream. So thanks to everybody out there for tuning in. And hopefully anybody who tunes in later probably didn't last this long anyway. So we may or may not do another one of these depending on how it feels demand wise, but y'all are pretty smart cookies. So I am, say goodbye, Charlie. Goodbye, Charlie. Not to you guys. You here in the Zoom can stick around. The rest of you out there in the ether world, have a lovely night.